Hello everybody and welcome to this week's reflection. I'm back down at the Yarriambiack Creek Cathedral. Haven't been down here for a while and I think I'm going to get rained on. We'll take it step by step. I hope that you're well wherever you are. In Victoria we're in another spate of lockdown, so time to adapt and just approach life from a different perspective. Anyway, this week's gospel starts a 5-week series on John chapter 6, which one of my commentators has dubbed the bread of life. We get two stories today. One is Jesus feeding 5,000 people, and the other one is him walking on the water. There's a couple of things that are worth noting, I think. The first is that John makes a point that it's the Passover, and this happens 3 times in John's Gospel. The first is when he cleanses the temple. There's this time now when a group of 5,000 people gather and he feeds them with 5 loaves and 2 fish. And then finally when he enters Jerusalem for the last time towards the end of the Gospel. The point is that even if you don't believe that 5,000 people were fed with 5 loaves and 2 fish, the miracle is that Jesus attended to their needs, one of their base needs, that of feeding their body. But he also fed their mind through his teaching. And we might find ourselves in circumstances like people out in the wilderness looking for something fresh, something different, where we really don't know what to do. And one of John's points is that if whatever circumstance we're in, if we bring that to Jesus, he will do something about it. He can turn something impossible into possible. And the point is that there were 12 baskets left over as well. So there's just God wants to offer us blessings more than we can actually manage or accept in one sitting. The crowds are so big. Jesus says, go on. They go across the lake and suddenly the winds and the storm bruise up once again. And Jesus comes to them and says, "It is I, do not be afraid." And they end up on the shore. This story speaks of the great exodus of the Israelites from Egypt to the Promised Land. And in the good old days, it was Moses who led the people on this journey from slavery to freedom. Jesus is the new prophet who is able to part the waves, as it were, and lead people from slavery to freedom. The point that John wants to make here, I believe, is that it's not so much about that Jesus can do whatever he likes, but the God of Israel, the God of each and every one of us, acts in important moments in history. The disciples saw and believed. The crowd were puzzled, amazed at the wonders that were taking place. And there may be times when the winds brew up and the seas become a bit rough in our own circumstances. And it's in those moments we are encouraged to stop and to listen to the one who says, "It is I. Do not be afraid." And should you decide to take Jesus into the boat with you, you may actually arrive at the harbour safely and full of courage. Hope you have a good week, and I'll see you again soon.